That is all good.
If there's anything that we can ever do to help you, again, with your career, we love the fact that you're there. Thank you so much. I mean, just thank you. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
And I do love the pictures you've taken of me. I'm just saying.
You're very photogenic.
I am a ham, and I keep meaning to ask you, do you hate it when I see you and I turn to you and I'm like, Hello, Dallas, Fort Worth. It's Rick with Concert Connection, sponsored by PMC Entertainment. And yes, this week's show is a first of. I've never had a guest of this caliber on before. I'm excited. This is one that most of y'all know. If you're in this Dallas scene, you've seen this guest out many times. This is going to be a fun interview. So make sure you strap yourself in, get your popcorn, grab a cocktail, because we're diving into the rabbit hole head first today. Welcome to the show, Mr. Gregg Gannon. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here. Just so everyone knows who it is you're talking to, this is the guy.
You guys see Gregg and his fellow cohorts, Thomas and George, at so many shows, and they are always right up against the stage in the pit with their cameras. And why I am so excited, and full disclosure, and I've got a tongue lashing coming, a little public humiliation. I asked Gregg over a year ago, and by the way, I've also asked Thomas and George, and they're going to give me crap about this too, because I want to hear their stories as well. And the other day, Gregg, we were out, and Gregg goes, Rick, you asked me over a year ago, are you ever having me on the show? And
I know, because every time I'm standing next to you, you're inviting someone else to the show, and I'm like, dude, you asked me, and I'm like, still waiting. It was just heartbroken to feel that love betrayed.
I have ADD, and I am 100% guilty. So I just bumped a bunch of people down the line, and I'm like, I called Mr. Rose. I'm like, you know what? I've made an ass of myself. I invited Gregg. I have not had him on. We're making a hole now, and because I absolutely adore you, and I love the fact that you come out and what you do for the scene. And so I was telling Gregg off camera, and I'm going to share with all y'all the reason I want Gregg and other photographers, because we go out and create magic as musicians every single weekend, and they're the ones that capture that magic, just a flash, a moment in time, forever caught on film, and some of the local videographers as well. And it's a different perspective than what we as the musicians see being on stage. What we experience is one thing. What they do, we get to go back and kind of live the memory, or all of us get to live the memory at shows. And I've been at shows where I wasn't playing, and I got to go back and look at all the photos, and I'm like, oh, that was awesome. And so, Gregg, I can't wait to just hear your stories. I mean, I guess
sure.
I don't even know where to start other than, let's start with the obvious one. Why, as a photographer, I know you get into it because you want to capture things. Why music? Why live performances?
A good question. Before being a concert photographer, I was a concert attendee, and I loved going to shows. And I remember, I think the first show was Above and Beyond. It was a trance rave show. And I remember finding the photos online, and I was wearing a white shirt. And uploading this photo with 1,000 people, and there's this one arm with white on it, and then tagging going, that's my arm, that's my arm. It was so important. I knew I was there, but to be able to show a photo to my friends and go, hey, I was there at this. And then I realized that not just the photos of the band, but photos of the audience that became important to me.
Yep. And
I've always loved photography, and I started doing events, and then at one of the events, there's a band, and that's how the connection was made. And they opened the door for me to shoot the band, and I love taking concert photos.
So they opened the door, and you dove in with your camera head first. You're like,
absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And it started by shooting venues that they didn't care. You know, they don't have a security. You're able to go in, take photos, and I worked on my craft because I had never taken concert photos, and it is very not easy.
Oh, it's extremely difficult. And
Absolutely.
I was an admirer of yours before, and I remember the first night that we met, like impactful, like, okay, I don't think he's going to forget me, because I'd met you a couple times, but it was very, very casual. We were at Gas Monkey, and it was a Valentine's show, and there's a picture of you and I together. We both wore the same thing, the red shirt with the black vest. This was what, 2-3 years ago, I think. And I had been admiring your work, and Thomas, but I hadn't gotten really the guts up to get to know y'all. Okay. And because you guys were always at the shows. And then it just was coincidental. You and I are at a Valentine's show at Gas Monkey Bar and Grill, and we have the same thing on. There is a picture of us, and it's one of my favorites. I've got it saved. And I was just like, excellent. Yes. He's a great photographer, and he's got good style.
The vest. I used to wear the vest all the time, and that was my trademark.
I love vests.
I have a closet full of them. And you are my hero, because you rock the vest and the blazers.
Oh, now I'm a little blazer princess. I thank you very much. That's a kind compliment. I love blazers. I like the way a blazer makes me feel. Even if I'm wearing a t-shirt, a sleeveless cut off t-shirt underneath. Yeah. I like the way a blazer makes me feel. Yes. Nothing more than that. It's I don't feel like I could have jeans on, t-shirt, tennis shoes, but I throw a blazer on. I feel, I step a little livelier. I like the feel of it. So, and mine are a little zany. Just slightly. Lime green. I don't know of anyone who would have rocked the lime green. What about the hot pink? And the hot pink. You're the man. I like, again, I'm not ashamed to go, hi, I'm Rick. I'm here. I'd like to see it. I'd like to meet all of y'all, because it's just who I am. But the one thing I will tell you is, there's a mutual admiration, because I love your fashion sense. I see you all the time, and you'll come out, you'll have a vest and maybe a tie on or something, and I'm like, oh, that's a good look. That's a good look. I used to wear the tie, and it stuck out, and it also it told everyone I was here for business. It opened the door, and it just like, I'm a professional. I'm dressed for this job. Yes. It's the whole reason I wear a blazer. Thomas in his kilt, he's dressed for the job. We know what he's doing. I know what he's doing. And it's no different than when I MC events. I typically have a blazer on. P.T. Barnum wore a top hat and tails as the ringleader for Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers. And I just ripped it off. I'm like, if I'm going to MC events, they need to know who the MC is, and I'm going to wear very flashy blazers, but I'm going to wear a blazer every time I get up there. And outstanding. It is it's a position of honor to be able to MC events. I love it. Now there are nights, like I did MC an event recently for the Cruligans and at a Roanoke Chop. It was warm. I chose, I was dressed like my typical little, musician self, but I did not wear the blazer that I brought. I did wear a black velvet blazer that night, but it was quite warm. So I'm like, okay, I can't wear velvet out there. We do what we can. Yeah. But no, I'm with you. I think even though we're going to shows, we can dress up and still be professional. Absolutely. Yeah. And I will tell you, you've rubbed off on a number of people as well, because I've seen a lot of guys that are starting to take the hint, and they may wear jeans, but they do dress up. I see blazers out there. I see a lot of vests out there. I see guys going, let's have some fun instead of just jeans and a t-shirt. Absolutely. As I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's Sunday when we're recording this, so. It's okay. I've got a linen shirt on that it's my weekend now attire. Every weekend I seem to wear the same bathing suit and a linen shirt, because I know summer's getting short here, and I'm missing the Caribbean a lot. I would love to go on a vacation, where there's beach. I canceled 2 Cabo trips this year. Oh, breaks my heart. One of them, we were supposed to take Brian and Jenny Huey down with us for we were going to take them down as a honeymoon gift for them. And that was back in June, and their wedding got delayed. They ended up going and getting married without the big festivities. And we had to cancel the trip because nothing was open. And I was part of that festivities. Yes. You and I both know. Yeah. And it kind of broke my heart because, oh man. Good people, great event. So that would have been a fun wedding. We'll all celebrate as a group soon. We will. Another fun wedding, a year and a half ago. almost 2 years ago now. Are we coming up on 2 years?
I think, yes.
Please don't let me throw you under the bus.
No, it's not. No, it's got to be close to about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
25 years of marriage, the only two things I have to know: birthday, anniversary. That's it. The rest of it, I'm off the hook. But no, your wedding was a blast too.
Oh
my Lord. Oh my Lord. And the pictures were phenomenal. It was a small, quaint wedding. I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you. We tried to keep it small, and it's really hard because where do you draw the line? You know, where do you say you can and you can't? It's hard, but each person comes with a price tag. It's expensive. It's expensive. We're limited on size of the room. But I, being a photographer, had a hard time relaxing or enjoying the wedding.
Oh, you could.
Dana was like, "Did you hear what the pastor said? Did you hear this?" I go, "No." I said, "The whole time I was watching the photographer." And I was like, "You should be staying here. You should be doing this." And then
okay, so I was going to ask.
It never shuts off. It really doesn't. And in fact, during the reception, I physically grabbed the camera, and it was driving me nuts. And I was like, "I'm going to solve this." And it wasn't that they were doing a good or bad job. It's just, in your mind, you can always do it better.
It's a passion. It's a love. Yeah. I mean, you don't just shut it off. You think those of us that are musicians, we go see other musicians and it's just like, yeah, whatever. No, trust me, we're watching. You're like, oh, I want to get up there because we do it too. You know, we want to do our wares. And again, photography, you're catching moments in time. In the last few years, I'm sure there have been some standout moments for you that were like, you went back, great shows, and then you went back and there was a picture or two that just was like, well, I'd put it on the front of, Newsweek or National Geographic. I mean, great, or, Rolling Stone, there's some great photos here.
One in particular was actually at House of Blues, or I'm sorry, not House of Blues, it was Gas Monkey, and it was actually a night, I was frustrated. The lighting seemed off and all that. And there's only so much you can do. And so you physically just you're like, okay, I can't stand here and get the light I want, so I'm going to start moving. And there was a bass player standing off stage. He was standing a bit away, and there was a nice breeze, and I just happened to click the photo and didn't think anything of it. When I got home, I realized that he had long black hair, and the wind had caught it, and then the light silhouetted, and it looked like multicolored flame.
Do you remember who it was?
Yes, I can't remember. Scott, I believe is his name.
What band?
Bass player, and I believe it was one of the Aussie tributes.
Okay.
I believe it was the Aussie tribute, and it turned out to be one of my best photos. And it was a night that I thought for sure will not get any photos worth posting. And that photo actually, someone turned it into a painting.
Oh, you got to send us. I want to see a picture of that. That. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
So I mean, there's it's funny because sometimes you're thinking like, well, the light is perfect and this is perfect and every photo is going to be amazing. But then some shows where you're thinking absolutely the worst, you get one photo that turns out to be like just phenomenal, where you catch a moment of emotion or a moment where they're smiling, things like that.
So lighting is something that you're always looking at. Always.
Absolutely. Always.
By the way, how does the lighting look on me today? Because I do have studio lights in.
You look really good, and I contemplated a ring light, but I went with this. I actually made that.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. No, it's funny, even for my home little studio. I mean, you can see now we actually have mics, and I mean it's a setup, and it's still growing because honestly, I'm still learning. But you do take that into account. And I started out in photography. My dad had an old Nikon, 35 millimeter. And I dated a girl in the early 90s who was a makeup artist. So I would go to a lot of the photo shoots, and she did fashion makeup. So I'm watching a lot of fashion photographers. And one of my friends said for every roll of 36 you shoot, if you can get one, maybe two pics, it's a success. He goes, you got to expect that you're going to throw 98% of the photos away, and you're just looking for the true magic you know, and then he dove into a the large format where I think it was was it a Mamiya or something, a big giant camera, and holy cow. And I got to go and watch him actually develop film, and what he was looking for when he was looking through the negatives, you know, he was like, I'm looking for eyelashes, I'm looking for, you know, for definition, certain things, as well as lighting. And even though I never became a photographer, some of the things that he taught me about how do we frame it, you know, pay attention to lighting, you know, all of that goes out the window when you're shooting live shows, because you're now talking about a medium that is moving. The lights are constantly changing. How do you do that? I mean, you got to be shooting really fast, you know, to catch those images. I mean,
well, you come to the realization that you're not going to get every shot you think you got, because the lighting does change. And the more you shoot, the more you realize, like, for example, I set my shutter speed at about 1/320th of a second. So I never have to change that again. That's going to be, and then my lens is opened up.
Fast.
Well, it can go a little slower for a lead singer, but then you always forget you made that change, and you go over to the drummer, which can look cool, and you get this blurry shot. Or Michael Mraz, there's never a sharp photo of that man. Him and his constant this. But anyways, so I set my lens fully open, which is mostly a 2.8 lens. So all I have to worry about is the speed, which is the ISO. So it's one knob, and after a while, you become intuitive. You've done this so much, you're like, okay, I had the light set for this lighting, and now I know it's darkened. And your thumb takes over, and you're making adjustments.
Nice. Now, I got to ask, drummers are difficult, correct? Because we're moving.
I prefer, and bands know I'm going to do it, is I prefer before a show to jump up on stage and get a shot of the drummer and the drum kit, because you can't get it during the show without, my fear is like tripping a chord.
And see, I always tell y'all, and I will reaffirm it every single show. If you need permission from the club, I'll give it to you. Like, he's with me. You could come up and photograph me. I will never, and you probably hate it. If I see a photographer, when I see you, even in the pit right there, and I'm like,
you happen to know, it's funny because you know exactly where the photographer is. You know where the camera is. You know how to keep perfect rhythm, and I know where the camera's at.
Oh, I'll keep playing, and I'll be like,
I've got you definitely do that. I have the photos to prove it.
And it's funny because I can see you laughing, and you do it. Thomas does it, and it's funny because you guys know me well enough. You guys start laughing because you're like, oh my God, here goes Rick. He's making another goofy face again.
But anything is better than that. The looking up at the light face, or the I'm bored face, or you just played the wrong note face, because those photos are no good either. I as a photographer, you've seen it all. You see all the expressions.
I'm working on new ones as we speak.
unless it's Burke. Burke is a man. But I've taken his photo, even for a wedding, and he's got one expression: the "I'm about to kill someone" look. But which is funny because he's happy.
Burke, contrary to what he just said, I love you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I saw him.
I only want Burke going after you. I want to.
I just saw him pull a semi truck with his teeth, so I know he's the man.
Did he really?
Yes, there's a video. He pulled it. It was with the rope, but
he's a really nice guy. I don't get to talk to him very often. He's really nice.
When I first started shooting him, I thought, this guy is so angry, and he scares me. And then you talk, and he's a very kind man.
He just has a very serious face, but he is he's in such phenomenal shape. He's a phenomenal guitarist.
Absolutely.
He's a really nice guy. I love I got to share the stage with him with Red Leather. We played New Year's Eve House of Blues, and again, I like Burke. At some point, Burke has to come on the show too, and Burke's gonna go, Rick, you've invited me. There's my
And one thing, and I love about Burke is he dresses for the show, and he's got the poses. I have never taken a bad photo of Burke. There is no bad photos of Burke. He knows how to pose, and I love that.
So you've identified, I'm sure, certain artists in the scene who they don't just play; they're entertainers, and they do know there are certain ones that know how to. They'll strike a pose, and I know they've got to be like candy for your lens because you're like, oh, this is too easy. Like,
well, it's also good for the audience. I mean, a part of the show isn't just the music; it's the selling it. It's the expression of the artist of like, I love this song more than you love this song.
Yeah,
and I love being here more than you love being here.
So you've heard my 3 rules, right? I think everybody has. I've told it many times. Rule number 1, I play for me. When I get on stage, I play for me. I want to have fun and put on the kind of show that I want to go see.
Right.
Rule number 2, I play for my bandmates. Okay? I got to have fun. I got to make sure that I play for them, that I put on a show they'd be happy with, that they get pumped up, and that we stay together and that I do my job. Rule number 3 is I play for the audience. If I put on a good show, my bandmates are having fun, the audience is having fun, great.
Yes.
If the audience is not having fun, go back to rule number 1.
Right.
I mean, end of conversation. Go back to having fun and forget the rest. And I think it all falls in line. And we are selling. And again, you guys capture those magic moments. We are selling entertainment. We are. And
my rule and what I try to do as a photographer is capture the show that if you weren't there, you wish you would have gone to. That when I post photos, I make you feel bad for not being there.
I'm there and I feel bad that I wasn't in the audience, but I was on stage playing. I'm like, holy cow. God, I wish I could have been down there. I mean, I love it. I love it. Yeah. And I think in a way, that's what we are seeing your perception or whoever the photographer is. But a lot of times I look at your stuff. I'm seeing your perception. This is the experience that Gregg had. And I know, again, you've had some incredible ones. Because, I mean, you've shot almost every band in DFW multiple times. I mean, and some of the big ones, correct? I mean, the Back in Blacks, the Deaf Legends, the Rebel Yells. Oh, did I throw that in there?
Very subtle. Very subtle. Didn't even notice.
Oh, I just slip up sometimes. It happens. You know, there might be the occasional like punk band like Basket Case or something.
I think I have seen that band. I think I've seen them. They're a good band.
When I was in Sedated, I know you photographed us a lot. And again, you've seen so many bands. There's got to be a few, and if you don't want to, you don't have to mention. But I'm honest, I have some favorites. Like I'm a huge Cure fan.
Right.
I love Le Cure. Love that band.
Yes.
Because I'm a huge Cure fan. I'm really, you're gonna laugh, I'm a Thin White Dukes fan because I've really become a Bowie fan. And unfortunately, it wasn't until he passed that it really dug in. So Mario's another one that I'd like to have on sometime because he does a phenomenal Bowie. Oh my Lord.
He does. And he's into Dallas Cooper. He does a great.
Do you know I've never seen Dallas Cooper, and he's going to shame me for it. I've seen him do Bowie so many times. I've never seen Dallas Cooper, and he's going to totally shame me. He's really good as Bowie, but he doesn't and he knows, and he's admitted I don't look like Bowie, but I want to capture the music, and he does that. The band is spot on, but in Alice Cooper, he's really good at Alice Cooper. Yeah, he looks it. I mean, so I need to get off my lazy rump and go catch one of those shows and just hang out because I love Alice Cooper. So
it's very, very entertaining, and even if you're not an Alice Cooper fan, you enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. And there's other bands, it's like I'm friends with Christine Glenn. I love Even It Up. They do a great Heart tribute. My wife's a huge Heart fan. Right at this point, I'm going down the list, and I'm just going to give props to all my friends and their bands.
I actually enjoy them more than Heart. When I hear Heart on the radio, I'm kind of like, they're good, but they're not as good as Even It Up.
You know what? There's some truth. There's a few tributes like that. That honestly, I love the original. That's why we fell in love with the big rock stars. But
right,
I like the tribute band better.
Like when I hear the song "Even It Up," the way Heart originally did it.
It
does not compare to Christie's. No, her version it's more rocking, it's more powerful, and it sells the song. Yes. You're like, well, this song takes on a whole new life. I love it.
But it's also, I think, we're probably jaded. And let's perfectly full disclosure, we are jaded because we've become friends with the music community. All of us. I mean, I'm friends with all these bands. You're friends with all the bands, and there's a place in our heart where, I mean, seriously, we love it. You're like, yeah, you do it better than the original. And I do the same thing. I say the same thing.
That is a extremely valid point. Back when I was single, I would
remember
enjoy.
Those days.
Yeah, I would enjoy. You could go to one of these shows, any one of the shows in DFW, and you could go alone. But when you got there, you were not alone. You had an instant family right there.
You're never alone in this Dallas scene, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it is a very small scene, and there's a lot of us that are in multiple bands. So as I explained to my boys in Basket Case, and we talk about it in Rebel Yell, is look at the spider web effect. How many bands are married? You know, and I'll just a quick, just short little microcosm. I am the drummer for Basket Case and Rebel Yell. Well, in Basket Case, Mike Rose is the singer for Back in Time, the Huey Lewis tribute. We've got Gabe, our bass player, who's also in a Butthole Surfers tribute that is about to hit the scene. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm in Rebel Yell, which I share with Chi, who's also in Metal Shop, that 70s band. Carlos, who's also in that 70s band, and also Saints and Sinners. We have Sam, who's also in Just Like Pink.
Yes.
We have Yvette, who is also in the Crueligans.
Yes.
You have JC Scars, who's also in Unglued, and he's got a cover band called The Lost Boys. You now have this, let's just take that small spider web. Then you go down each of those people, you think about their bands that they're in, like, okay, let's Metal Shop. Well, you got Shannon, who's also Rockaholics, that 70s band. You know what I mean? It's like, holy cow. You know, and in the Rockaholics, you got Sammy Joe Bishop on drums, who's also in Rocket Queen, Poisonous, I think Crude and Tattooed. I mean, this is an interwoven music scene, and we are a family. There is whatever degree of separation, we're all connected one way, shape, or form. So
it is a wonderful family, and if you haven't got a chance to come and meet the DFW family, you really should.
What do I say?
You really should.
Put down the ho-hos, get off the couch, go support live local music.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't put it any more simple than that. You're missing, and I'm going to call it, it's a treasure. You are missing something. I lived through the 90s in the Seattle scene, and it was phenomenal. I think we have a great music scene. It's a different medium. It's not originals. There are some great original bands out there. My buddy Bobby Woods in Blackout, you know, oh my Lord. In fact, I just talked to him. He's another one he's been on. I want him back on again. They're phenomenal. They've stuck to what they do. Love it. And I know you've gotten photos of them. You know, I don't think there's one band that I have mentioned that you don't have photos of. Not one. There
are probably a few, but not very many.
No, we'd have to try really hard to play. Let's guess that band, and we may never actually come up with one. I mean, seriously, you know, the service that you and I say you and Thomas. I know you guys are friends, okay, and I see you at a lot of the same shows. And George Picaro, and it's funny because he services also like the dance bands, which I don't go. There's other genres inside the whole music scene. You guys really are throwing down photos for all of us to enjoy. And if I've never said thank you, thank you. Like I said, I've stolen your photos and used them as my screensaver or my avatar. I bet you if you went and look right now, it's probably either you or Thomas. I mean, just saying.
And I want to say that to all the bands who use my photos and who have never asked, you're welcome. It's fine. I took the photos for you to use. So if you're in a photo and you're using it, you don't need my permission. You have my permission and my blessings. Believe me, there is nothing more as a photographer I enjoy than going down and going, that's my photo, that's my photo. I mean, to this day, it still thrills me. I get excited. I don't get mad. I don't go, dude, they didn't pay me. It's fine. I love it.
We should start a fund for you and for you and Thomas and George and some of the other. We should have like a big benefit show just so you guys can get like at least a once a year freaking paycheck for this. You know what I mean? Like all the proceeds get split equally between you and because you guys really do. And I guess everybody should start messaging you like as soon as the show airs. Message them and just say thank you. Nothing else. Just thank you.
Which is really good. I mean, I hear the thank yous and I really enjoy it. And there are bands that that if they want me there, they bend over backwards to get me in that door, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and
it should be, because again, it's the service you provide. I've had to pay to get into some clubs, and that's okay. Even though I promote you, because I do support local music, and
right.
I'm very spoiled. I get in a lot of clubs for free, and so now and then when I do have to pay, I may grumble a little, like that was alcohol money, but I open up my wallet. I'm like, here you go, because I know it goes to the bands, and
yeah, I don't have an issue with that either for that reason. I know that the bands aren't making a killing, so
what really? This is our retirement plan. I mean. We're moving to the, and it's funny, I posted that picture because I said we're moving to the beach and opening a bar. I am, and I'm going to be inviting everyone in the DFW area. I'm like, hey, I'll give you a discount, come stay at my place. I want a beach bar somewhere in the Caribbean, and I want live local music there. Like, I will have a stage. I have a business partner, and it's somebody that all y'all know, and we've talked about it in depth, and he and I are gonna we're gonna open up a bar, and I'm serious. I will, you guys, bands want to come down, like, you may not get paid a lot, but you want to come down and rock the beach, we'll drink, we'll have fun, it'll be a little vacation. I'm gonna open a bar on the beach.
That is a great plan.
Kid you not, it's my retirement plan.
I pray it comes true for you and your wife. That is awesome.
Speak it into existence. So let me ask you, with COVID, and we've talked about the timeout. I'm telling you, this is all it is they're getting even for all the stuff I got away with. And I'm sorry y'all got caught up in the restriction, but it's everything I got away with, I thought. So it's been difficult for you to even get out and do much photography at all?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it canceled some weddings, which is income. But moreover than that, that's wonderful friends missing a moment. But now that, and I miss concerts as anybody else. As bands miss it, I miss it. I miss the family.
Yeah.
And now that I am shooting again, there are some shows. It's altered how I shoot. Normally, I try to get as many crowd shots, as many shots of people together and all that. But to protect the venues that I'm at, I deliberately avoid that. So you don't see me getting the shot of the band with the crowd in the front, because I don't want the band to get heat. I don't want the venue to get heat. And I don't want people who attended the show to get any kind of, social media badgering over that.
Yeah. And that's where we are. I mean, it's we got to worry about. I mean, we got to worry about getting people in trouble just because they went out and had a good time. And
exactly,
it's funny. I got to MC one of my first events in a long time for the Cruligans, and I got on stage and I'm like, how does it feel, to be off restriction for a night? And the crowd erupted, like they were just, you could hear it in everybody's. They screamed top of their lungs, like. Everybody in the venue, beer in the sky, screaming, and it's like, okay, after this is over, you're going back home. No, but I mean, you could hear it. People are ready, and I mean, we want to be safe, but people are ready, man. We want music,
And when you meet your longtime friends that you haven't seen in a while, you always have that awkward, like, are we hugging? Are we elbowing? What are we going to do here?
I'm a hugger.
I'm a hugger.
I'm trying to do the elbow or the knuckle. Man, I instinctively go in for the squeeze, and that's just, I'm a hugger, man. I love everybody to death. Even the people that annoyed the crap out of me, I still give them hugs. I'm like, it's because I'm annoying.
Yes.
Wait, you were supposed to say yes.
Secret. Only you and I and anyone who's ever met you and seen this video will know that. You gotta eliminate. No one.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe my son. He's like, have you seen my kid at a show like once ever? I
think at one show.
Do you think it was a gas monkey?
Yes.
Getting him to come out, and I'm like, come hang out, Dad. How many of your friends' dads like are cool? Because I think I'm kind of cool. I mean, maybe not in his world. In my little pea-brain mind, I'm like, I'm cool. He's like, really, Dad?
I was able to take. I went and saw Def Legend with the Whitesnake tribute in a bar in New Braunfels, and that's where my kids live. And
Couple weeks ago.
No, this was 2-3 years ago.
Okay, because I know Def Legend was just down there a few weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was funny because that was the first time my kids have seen me work at a show, and they just were. They stood back. They enjoyed it. They enjoyed the music. They enjoyed the bands. They enjoyed listening to all that. And but they just were taken aback by watching the band. Realize where I was standing. They could see that the band knew where the photographer was, and they enjoyed that.
So they thought it was weird seeing you work?
Yeah, they'd never seen me work as a photographer.
I think it was weird. This was it may have been your first date with Dana.
Yes.
Was it at, what's the outdoor venue?
There's Lava, Gas Monkey.
No, the one with the picnic tables in the gravel and the patio. Oh my God, it's not far from
Chop Shop is also on.
Oh, this one has the fire pits. Oh my, it's got the tree growing through the stage. I'm having a brain
fart. There's a tree growing through the stage.
Yeah.
There's the trees in Dallas.
It's over by the Palladium. Oh God.
Oh, now I'm confused.
Yeah. Trust me, we've been there. Anyhow, you were on a date.
Yes.
And you didn't have a camera, and I think it was one of your first dates with Dana.
Yeah.
And I was like, Gregg doesn't have a camera. And Amy goes, I think he's on a date. And I was like, oh, excuse me.
I do. And I used to go to 2 shows a weekend and take photos, and I'm down to 1.
Nice.
Oh, but we still love music. We still love it and all that, but I have to protect family time.
I will tell you, COVID, and you guys know what a junkie I am. I love going out. Amy and I are partners in crime. She goes out to 98% of the shows I go to. We go out together because we like music. Now, she gets annoyed. She gets tired of seeing the same bands over and over again, where I'm like, I'm going to see my friends' bands. I like it. There are new bands that she wants to see, but yeah, she's like, Rick, and she knows, again, I'm being in a band with Chi. I want to go see Rockaholics. I want to see Metal Shop. She's like, we've seen them a million times. I know, sweetie. She's like, there are bands like, she wants to see Dallas Cooper. We love going to see La Cure, which we have not seen La Cure in a while. There are other bands. We want to see the Molly Ringwalds, and for whatever reason, we miss them every single time. I need to go see La Freak. Believe it or not, have not seen La Freak. And it's now, we did say Graceland Ninjas, and fell in love with Graceland Ninjas. Holy cow. Great band.
They're amazing.
And she's also a new wave girl. She's not a metal girl where I'll go watch, Metallica and, like Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses. That's not really her cup of tea. Okay. It's like Walk in the Shadows. Chuck's my friend. I like Queensryche. So going to see them is huge for me. She would be like, and no offense. It's nothing against the band. Not her style of music. She's Now, if there was
well, at least you and I are both blessed to be married to someone that will go to shows and not look bored.
And I was gotta be, when you were dating Dana, I'm like, I hope she likes music, because I'm just saying, if they get married, and then you guys got married, I'm like, I hope she really likes music, because
well, on our first date, which was actually a blind date,
Lee Harvey's, by the way, Lee Harvey's.
Yes, that's right.
Lee Harvey's.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, that's right. You're right. And
was that your first date?
That was probably the second or third date.
Yes. See, I was there. I remember. And I'm like, oh, they look good together.
And I didn't want her to, because when I work, and it's hard to work and be on a date. So I want to, if I do work, I want to be able to give the band my all. And when I'm on a date, she's my all.
Nice. She's delightful. I love her to death, and I'm telling you, all make a great couple. I'm glad you guys got married. I hope it lasts forever. Amy and I have been together 25 years. Every woman that absolutely. every morning that I wake up and she hasn't put the pillow over my face and just held it there, it's like I'm like, give me the everlasting gobstopper. I got a Willy Wonka golden ticket. I won. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I just met a young guy who just got engaged. We were up at the Island Bar at Pottsboro, and he was all excited. He had just gotten engaged. I'm like, oh, my wife and I have been together for 25 years, married for 23. He goes, how did you do it? I go, it's not white picket fences and rainbows and butterflies. No. Let her win. Let her win. Because really,
yeah,
we're boys. We're boys. We're intelligent creatures, but we do really stupid stuff. I mean,
I'm very guilty of that.
Yeah,
very guilty. And Dana is far more patient with me than I am.
Amy's a saint. She needs like a holiday or a trophy or something. So if y'all could just get together and get her a trophy and tell her I had nothing to do with it, but make me feel it would help out a lot. You know, there's somebody right now who owns a trophy company going, get that guy's information. We're going to make $1 million here. Oh, my Lord. I'm glad. I hope you keep bringing Dana out to shows because it's always great to see her. And
we intend to fully keep going because y'all are my family and we enjoy spending time.
If we were to set up one of these, and when I say set up one of these, I'd like to do a Concert Connection at some point, but I'd like to go to a show, and I'd like to follow you around one night. I can still do what I do, but I actually want to go through the motions of following you, photographing the band, because it's not like you just sit in one place and click.
Oh, it would have to be the House of Blues. Oh! You have no idea the beatdown I take at the House of Blues. So
you want people to see that?
Oh, it's exhausting. I mean, you're in the pit for one part, for the 3 songs, and then there's 3 flights of stairs. You have to race up to go get the balcony shots, and then you race back down to go get the crowd shots, and then another band comes on, and you repeat this.
Okay.
Then I want to go check on my wife, and then I go up and down again.
You know what? We'll bring the wives with us. They can hang out. That way Dana or Amy doesn't feel alone. I'll bring my gimbal and my whole setup, my whole fiasco, and literally like a video crew. I'll follow you around one night as you photograph a band. We'll get some interviews, and I want to seriously, if you're game to do this little project with me.
I'm game.
We'll call Clint, because Clint, I love Clint at House of Blues. He is, I adore him.
Yeah.
We'll go, hey, I'm doing this little project. And literally, can we have more than 3 songs in the freaking pit, please? And seriously, we'll do a little, because I think people would be fascinated to see what really goes on. There's a lot of times I see you and Thomas, and you guys are up against the wall, like, you're looking at your role, so to speak, going, it's like, okay, why aren't you in the pit? Like, I already have my 3 songs. I'm in timeout. Exactly.
As a matter of fact, I was shooting and I love them. It's a Depeche Mode tribute. Now I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the band.
Is it Strangle Love?
Yes, Strange Love.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I always
Carlos, it was one of the first times I got to shoot them at the House of Blues, and they have the 3-rule policy, the 3-song policy. And so the first thing they played was this little intro, a little film played and all that. And they were standing there, and it was strictly red light, so I can't take a photo.
Doesn't count.
And then they played a song. They actually played a song, and still red light. And I'm still, if you've never taken photos, it's terrible. There's very little light there. You don't realize it, but your eyes are straining to see the band. Mm-hmm. Then that next song, then they finally played a song, and the lights came on, and then the security goes, okay, that was 3 songs. I go, the first song was an intro. It was a tape. It wasn't even the band. And it was
That's a load of crap.
Yeah, so I ended up being able to shoot for just 1 song. And the thing was, I don't use the photos to promote me. I use the photos to promote your venue and to promote the band. I ended up writing and explaining, I wasn't a jerk about it. I wasn't like, hey, y'all owe me or whatever. But the next time, security was really nice about it, and they asked, they go, was that 3? I'm not being a jerk about it. if I say I'm going to shoot a band, I want to be able to give the band the best I could do.
I'm not gonna name names. I recently popped off to a door guy who turns out he was the owner of the club, and
Wow.
I was supposed to be on the guest list, and they had forgotten to put me on. And I'm like, I'm emceeing an event, and I'm working. He's like, it doesn't matter. He charged me. Okay, I pull out my wallet and I pay, so I can work. And I said, do you charge your artists? He's like, absolutely. I charge. Okay. And so as I'm walking away, I said some really nasty. I was an ass.
Right.
I was reacting to how it had all gone down, and I said something. That's the only thing I regret but you know what? I paid my money to come in here, so yeah, you were in horse's ass, and I said far worse than that. And I look at it like when we promote as much as we do for free, I get it. You don't have to give me a tab, and you're not paying for anything. Let me promote your club, but don't be a jerk to me. And
right.
I actually felt, I woke up feeling like absolute dog crap because I had smarted off because I was offended, and I was like, why are you, okay, princess, why are you being offended? It's like, well, because I've promoted this club so many times, and granted, he doesn't know me from anybody. Okay, I'm nobody to him, even though I've promoted your club, and I felt like an ass. I will honestly, because I don't ever want to get too big on myself. And again, do I promote because I really love to promote? Yes, sir, I do. Absolutely. And so I'll raise my hand when I'm wrong. I shouldn't have mouthed off, but it was also like, I'm just one guy. How do you treat the rest of your patrons coming through the door?
True.
And
in this tight community, stories get around quick.
My little comment was unwarranted, even though I was highly offended and I was reacting, still unwarranted. It's the question I had to ask myself is, why are you really promoting, Rick? I promote because I love the bands. I think my loyalty is more to the bands than the clubs, but the clubs definitely benefit from the bands. I mean, let's be honest. The only reason clubs have bands in it, liquor sales.
Right.
It's not because they love the music. They could care less. They want bands that are going to generate liquor sales. That's why the bar is open. So, the rest of it is all, you and I promoting is we're helping the bands, but we're helping the clubs. So.
Exactly.
But yes, if you're game, it'll take a little coordination planning. But that's something that I would want to bring Mr. Rose and all of us will pull our mutual talents. And I want to shoot almost like a little documentary if you're game.
Sure.
And I think it would be fun. It would be a nice little project.
And really exciting is, after we shoot the concert, then you can sit behind me for 6 hours while I edit those photos. I mean, that is a real crowd pleaser. Most people don't realize there's a lot of work.
I hear Amy calling me. I have to go.
That's where the taking the photos for about every hour I shoot results in 4 hours of me sitting at a laptop staring at a screen.
And it's similar with the show. So let's be honest. The pre-production that goes into shooting a show every week and the post-production, I don't think people understand. And not a lot of it. The pre-production side, I have a hand in, but really the post-production, that is all on Mr. Rose, Mr. K. Rose, my producer, who anybody who's on the show, he is he's my partner in crime. I wouldn't do this to anyone else. He is truly the workhorse. I get a lot of credit. No, it's Mr. Rose, and y'all should be sending him hero cookies, hero trophies, like therapy sessions. He likes vodka. He needs it after being around me, and I'm not shy about it. When I say I love the man, he makes doing this show with him it is a blessing. But people don't realize how much post-production goes into. Right. Again, and I'm sure all you all that photograph spend hours arduously editing, but you do it because it's a labor of love, and you know that that's part of.
Oh, it is. I'm as happy as the bands are to get a great photo, as happy as I am to post that photo. I'm just as excited.
So it's really no different than the hours we spend in the rehearsal studio getting ready, or the hours it takes to get to the club, set up, sound check, wait around, play the show for 45, 60, 90 minutes, and then break it all down, take it all home, unload it. Like, yeah, you guys see all this glory for 1 hour on stage. there are hours upon hours upon hours that go into facilitating all this. Like it didn't just like, this isn't like sea monkeys where add water and watch them swim. Oh no, it's. And by the way, did you ever have sea monkeys?
Is yours not like sea monkeys? Because I've been to a couple of your shows.
Okay, I never got the sea monkeys to work, but Carlos, bass player for Rebel Yell, he and I were talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got it to work." I'm like, "I got defective sea monkeys. Mine never worked." And the X-ray glasses, which ladies, I'm not going to lie to you, I got them for one reason and one reason only. They didn't work either. I didn't see anything.
Web of lies.
My childhood was
bother with comic books and their deceitful advertising.
My childhood was very disappointing. Comic books lied to me. I was yes, I did order sea monkeys and X-ray glasses, and I felt very deflated after both of them. So yeah, I was I don't believe Heckle and Jekyll anymore. They're liars. Oh my God! Honestly, I'm telling you, I hope you go through and you over the next couple of days. Please send us a ton of photos because I'm excited to actually air a bunch of these for you.
All right.
And I'm going to tell you, whenever you do post them, you are always. This is any band you shoot. If you want to post them to Concert Connection or In the Pit with Rick, post them. If it helps people see the shows, I don't care if it's a weekly ritual. Post the bands. Let people see the photos. It's, let's get them out there. And, I'll tell the same thing to your buddy Thomas and to George. And I know there's a couple other photographers. Post them. Somebody else who's at a lot of these gigs that I'd love to chat with and see his perspective. Moose.
Yes.
The amount of video that man shoots. And I'm going to tell you, I actually I was his roommate when Sedated went on tour. We went on the road a couple years ago, right before I left the band. And we'd gone up and we did a Northeast run up through Philly, New York. And he was my roommate for that trip. And so I got to know Moose really well.
Right.
And, having him shoot video. And I've gotten to know Moose over the years. And it's because of COVID, I haven't seen him in a while. But I always look at any videos that he's shooting. He has done so much for the Dallas-Fort Worth music scene. When y'all see him, you need to give him a monster hug because his videos, he was somewhat of the inspiration for me to do what I do. In all honesty, Moose is such what a great guy and a huge supporter of the Dallas.
He does. He puts a lot of effort in what he does. Yeah. He is no slouch. He gets out there. He fights with the crowds. He's part of the scene.
Yep.
And he post videos. That is all good.
If there's anything that we can ever do to help you, again, with your career, we love the fact that you're there. Thank you so much. I mean, just thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you. And I do love the pictures you've taken of me. I'm just saying.
You're very photogenic.
I am a ham, and I keep meaning to ask you, do you hate it when I see you and I turn to you and I'm like,
well,
I don't quit playing.
That look is not my favorite, but it's okay.
It's more like
when you're behind the drum kit and you do that, you can do that. That's good. That is great.
So next time I'm playing, I'll be like.
It is a classic, though. That look is classic Rick. You just get that.
It's that Macaulay Culkin Home Alone, which is that's me. That's exactly right. Oh my God. I'm telling you, there's no filter, man.
But you know what? It sells the show. I mean, you don't even know what song is playing to know, like, the person doing this you want to be there. They're playing something they're passionate about. They're having a blast, and you should have been there if you don't know who that is.
Well, I for the record, since we're on film, you ever come out to a show, you don't even have to ask. All bar owners, he's allowed to come up on my drum riser to photograph. And I keep wondering, I want some photos from behind me with the band out onto the crowd. I think
those are great photos. I love taking those photos. If it's physically possible, I always try to get those photos.
So I'll tell you off camera, I have something in the works that may facilitate that. I'm not sharing it with everybody yet. They'll see soon enough. And so
these are not the door.
Yeah.
Move along.
These are not. Oh my God. I'm a Star Wars junkie. These are not the droids you were looking for.
This
I
is
would
not
use
the
it for
band
other
you-
things. This is why I'm not a Jedi, because I'd use it for other things, like with my wife. I'd be like,
It is
You
not
guys are
my
like-
day to do the dishes.
oh, no, I wasn't even thinking about chores. Wow. I was more like, you want to go to the bedroom now. I know, I'm a boy. Lock the dogs outside. Oh, Gregg, thank you for being my guest, sir. I can't wait till we do this again, and you and I will have to have some serious conversations. I don't want this to just be an idle conversation, and we
right.
don't plan it and bring it to fruition, because I could see it in a really fun little documentary, be it 30 minutes, an hour. It could be a lot of fun. Like just even if it's a one-time project, I think it'd be a hoot, and we'll get together on it. We'll pick the right band. It cannot be a band that I'm playing in, because I cannot do double duty. I'm sorry. Although that might be a fun one. Like, here's the zaniness of Gregg and Rick the night of show. No, because I'm moody and I'm angry. Yeah. Oh, ask Amy. I'm moody before, when I'm getting the day of show. Make sure you feed me. I'm like a gremlin, but in reverse. Make sure you feed me, keep me hydrated, because at midnight, if I haven't been, I do turn into an evil gremlin. So
I can still get very. I suffer a great deal of anxiety if I go to a different venue, someplace I'm not comfortable. I will stress. I'm like, they're not going to let me in. They aren't going to know who I am. They're instead of one, it's going to be one song. I still get stressed.
You know what? Welcome to work. I mean,
exactly. I take it serious. I take it serious.
Yeah, we do.
So
and thank you for doing that. Oh, my Lord. Thank you, Dallas-Fort Worth, for joining us for another hour of your life that we have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed screwing up your mula oblongata. Isn't that what it is? I think. Medulla
I think
oblongata.
That's my favorite instrumental Rush song, Ubla Oblongata.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please reach out if you see Gregg. Thank him. If you're in a band, if you're just and one of the many fans at a show, always go up and say hi. Maybe he'll get your picture, and you'll end up on one of the picture rolls. Maybe even with one of the band members. It's always a great time. Thank you for tuning in. If you like the show and you want me to promote your band, hit me up. I love interviewing folks. We usually, once you've been on once, we have you on twice, 3 times. It's always a hoot. If you have a show coming up, post it to Concert Connection or In the Pit with Rick. Like us, follow us, and invite your friends to like us and follow us. You can follow us on iHeart Radio, Spotify, obviously Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Roku channel, and now we have an Amazon Fire channel. And also, if you're dying to know where the shows are, go to inthepitwithrick.com. We actually have a free web app. Okay, it's a progressive web app. Download it. It'll be like any other app on your phone. You can watch Concert Connection on it. Also has a concert calendar. So if you're in a band, you can post your shows there 7 days a week. It doesn't matter. If you're a fan and you want to see where the shows are, you can go see who's playing where. Doesn't matter. It's a free app. Use it. Stay in touch. Get off the couch. Go see music. If you're in a band, promote there. Let's get people off the couch into your shows. I'm all about it. So everybody stay safe. We're getting closer to coming off restriction. Maybe I'm not, but y'all are. Yeah. I'll still be on restriction, but you guys get to go out and mingle. Everybody stay safe. Be good to each other. I'm Rick. This is Gregg. We're on Concert Connection, and we will see you in the pit.
In the pit.